Get you away!
Derek?
Get you away!
Derek?
Heaven!
Derek?
Hallelujah!
Derek.
Most Haunted was a reality TV show that began airing here in the UK back in 2002.
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted.
It followed former Blue Peter presenter Yvette Fielding as she and a team of ghost hunters visited supposed haunted locations and spent the night there hoping to find evidence of the paranormal.
Is anyone on these stairs? Shh! Fuck it, no way, no fucking way.
This was actually one of the first shows of this type, and it developed quite a cult following here in the UK, and one of the main reasons for that was because of a man called Derek Acorah.
Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick.
Derek was a psychic medium who could apparently communicate with the dead. He would come to these haunted locations, allegedly with no prior knowledge of the place, and using his psychic powers, talk to the spirits who reside there.
This is bizarre, even for me. I've got the energies of two women, and yet one female is not a female.
During these psychic chats, he would typically find out some historical information about the location and its former inhabitants.
What year would he have come visiting here?
Oh gosh, before the 9th and 10th century.
Most bizarrely of all, though, is that he would occasionally become possessed by these spirits.
Now, who do you think you are? Leave me! Leave me!
These possessions were often quite dramatic,
Don't let me bleed!
and would see him yelling at other members of the crew.
Go away!
No, I won't go away. I will not go away.
Sit
Down now.
Whoa!
Sit down. Don't you dare.
They were so absurd that even people who didn't believe in ghosts would tune in just to see the utter insanity of it. I mean, to put it in perspective, the man supposedly got possessed by a monkey in the very first episode of the show.
Suddenly Derek appeared to be influenced by the spirit of the monkey, known as the Martin's ape.
Frankly, looking back at this now, it's quite shocking to see some of the things he got away with.
Don't you like women?
See your breasts?
Yeah, don't you like women?
Wench,
You don't like women, do
you see your breasts?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Obviously, these possessions drew their fair share of skepticism, with many accusing Derek of faking the whole thing.
Please, get me out. Get me off.
This would really come to a head in 2005, when he and the team were investigating the Bodmin jail, where he became possessed by a particular spirit.
Creed! Creed!
Now, you might be thinking that looked like just another typical possession, but in actual fact, Derek had just been bamboozled. He had just become possessed by the spirit of a South African jailer called Creed Kafer. As you can see on the screen, the show's researchers were unable to find any records on this guy, and that's because, well, he didn't exist. He was made up by this man, Ciarán O'Keeffe.
The difficulty interpreting this as paranormal is that we're dealing with a very old house.
Ciarán was Most Haunted's resident skeptic. He would go around with the crew and offer up any non-paranormal explanations for any phenomena they might experience, giving the show a veneer of professionalism and balance.
Did you just hear a bang again then?
Yeah, but we were moving around.
We were moving, yeah.
Like many others, Ciarán was skeptical of Derek's psychic abilities, believing that he was actually gathering information about locations before filming and then pretending to discover it through psychic communication.
And he comes here. Yeah.
So
he
would have stayed here, perhaps in this room?
He must have done. He must have done.
So he devised a plan to put Derek to the test. He created a fake character called Creed Kafer. During the filming of the Bodmin jail episode, Ciarán had members of the production crew loudly talk about this fictitious character within earshot of Derek. His hope was that Derek would pick up on this fake character and psychically communicate with him. But to Ciarán's surprise, Derek actually took it one step further.
Creed!
What makes this even more damning is the meaning of the name Creed Kafer. It's actually an anagram of the phrase Derek Faker. So poor old Derek has more or less sealed his fate as a crook on national television. But unfortunately for him, it doesn't end there. Just a few episodes later, Kieran came up with a new fake ghost for Derek to communicate with, this time called Rick Edels.
Rick? Am I pronouncing this, Sam? Edels, yes. Nick Edels.
Once again, this was a cheeky anagram, this time spelling out Derek lies. Really, at this point, there was seemingly no doubt in anyone's mind that Derek was a fake, and that's when Kieran went to the press and revealed everything. Subsequently, Derek was fired from Most Haunted, but of course maintained his innocence, stating that he was genuinely possessed, but likely misidentified the spirit. He later claimed the whole thing was a setup by the production team to get him fired because the other hosts were jealous of his notoriety or simply wanted him off the show. Despite his credibility being nuked by these events, he did manage to carry on making a living as a celebrity psychic, even allegedly talking to the spirit of Michael Jackson.
Michael, I love you so much. Do you realise how much I love you, Michael?
I feel from your sincerity of love. It is paramount to me to receive that love. I love you also.
I love you more, Michael.
My spiritual brother.
Derek would eventually pass away in 2020. Shortly after his death, Most Haunted host Yvette Fielding would come out in the papers and accuse him of all manner of things. During their investigations, Derek would apparently excuse himself to use the bathroom and could then be heard on his mic calling people on his phone, trying to gather information he could use. There's definitely some plausibility to this, given that this is what happened right before he was possessed by the fictitious Creed Kafer.
If I could just get out of the atmosphere a little while, not long, and then come back down again. Can I do that? Yeah.
Normally adept at handling any confrontation, the pungent atmosphere in the cell block was clearly having an unusual effect on Derek. 20 minutes later, he felt ready to continue.
Creed!
He also apparently tried to kiss Yvette under the guise of being possessed, often while drunk. The interview really paints quite a damning picture of the guy, and I certainly feel for Yvette and the crew if it's all true. So that concludes the story of Derek, one of the most notorious celebrity psychics to appear on our screens.
Thomas! Thomas!
While his absurd outbursts were certainly dubious, they do make for great entertainment whether or not you think he's full of shit. So what do you think? Was Derek a complete fraud who exploited people's beliefs in the spirit world for money?
Take thy hand off me, wench!
Or was he a genuine psychic who was simply ousted by a crew of jealous co-hosts? I certainly know which I believe to be true, but I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Anyway, until next time, sleep tight.
Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick.